Hi, everybody. Let me know what you see on your screen, and welcome. Welcome to day 2, what we're going to be going through, and it's good to have many of you back. It's good to have most of you back. There's others that are just joining for the first time. So I'm going to be asking us to let us know what you're seeing on your screen. Okay, let me see. Market pricing. Great. Thank you, Ruth, for your quick response. So we're going to definitely start because we want to start on time. I hope my screen is actually mobile, in the sense that you can see what's happening. If you do not see any movement, please let me know. If you see movement, also let me know. Also let me know if you hear me loud and clear. Very quickly about myself. An organizational psychologist, management consultant, an HR practitioner with expertise in human resource management, strategy, development, programming, change management, coaching, corporate governance, and the like. Worked in public, private, and not-for-profit, as well as intergovernmental sectors. And then I bring to you over 23 years work experience in this field. Do consulting in human resource management, organizational institutional development, coaching and mentoring, and some of the places where we've done salary structure, salary surveys and benchmarking projects include Hackford, Fairway, AfriChild, Raising Voices, and as early as last year, School for Life Foundation. And this is what we've been doing. The other services we provide is we run a job board, which is My Job Uganda, run a consulting business, Sita Solutions. I do coaching, which is part of the brand. And then, of course, microfinance. These are things that we do as coaching. And now we're going to ask ourselves, how do we develop a salary structure leveraging artificial intelligence? We'll be asking ourselves what benefits we observe and what pros and what cons and what we can use to make our lives easier, especially working with artificial intelligence. How is this going to go? One, we shall define what we want to look at. Then we move to describing what we're looking out for. And after describing what that is, we shall test, have a live session, and then subsequently we shall evaluate. So define salary structuring, describe what it looks like, and we test the process with the artificial intelligence, and then we evaluate, is this practical for us or is it not practical for us as far as using ChatGPT is concerned. So let us continue. We start by saying we are defining. What are we defining? We're trying to understand what salary structuring is, what pay structuring is. Since it's targeting HR professionals, there are some assumptions we make that you know what a salary is, you know what a structure is, and then we just following through the basic steps before we go into the actual practice. So pay structuring is a process. That's one. Two, it involves designing. And three, it involves implementing. So the process of designing and implementing a system that prescribes how you will compensate your staff or how your organization will compensate your staff. So we design a process or a system, and we implement the system that we have designed. That, in short, is what we call pay structuring. How you determine why staff A should get 500,000 and staff B should get 800,000 a month, and how staff C should get 300,000 a month or something more than that. So why do we go through this process of pay structuring? We go through this process to attract candidates, to retain staff, to improve fairness of work practices. We work to meet employers and employees' needs, to motivate them, to improve staff engagement, and to promote equity. These are the things we do when we, in order to implement salary structuring, the why of salary structuring or pay structuring. So we've defined what it is, we've explained why we go through this process, what are the key 3 steps that we go through when we're doing basic. I'm going to use the word basic so that we keep at the back of our mind that there's a lot more detail if you want to go into comprehensive salary structuring. So one will be job analysis and evaluation. The other is market research. And then the third thing is salary structure development. When you do job analysis and evaluation, you get job descriptions. You may even get grading of jobs. Then when you do market research, you get a salary survey report. And then when we do the salary structure development, we get a salary structure. We always take people to the next level when we're doing salary structuring by doing a wage bill analysis. What is a wage bill analysis? This involves us telling you whether your salary is sustainable over a specific period, preferably the strategy period, for how long your strategy runs. Most of the times we project 5 to 10 years. If you pay people at this rate with your current budget and a growth rate of this percentage, how sustainable will your salary be or your structure be? So now that we've learned what salary structuring is, a brief overview of what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is one, a contemporary artificial intelligence. There are many types that are now coming up. Another interesting one is called Leonardo.ai that can draw images or pictures of what you describe. But this one is a language model, a text-based model that allows us to interact with it and mine information. It is designed to understand the natural language. So the way I speak or the way I write is the way it is designed to understand. And then it generates human-like responses. You're talking to a bot or a robot, but you'll be getting human-like responses, as we shall see shortly. And then it's also designed to learn. Your experience with ChatGPT today will be different from your experience you had with it yesterday. It will be different from the experience you have with it tomorrow. Every time you capture info in it, or you have a conversation with ChatGPT, the conversation becomes better and a lot more information is gathered. So we want to be able to test what can we do with salary structuring when we're using artificial intelligence. This is the interesting part. There are things ChatGPT can do. Let me use the word for now or right now, and there are things that it can't do right now. One of the things it can do involves drafting job descriptions, which we shall test and see. One of the other things it can do is help us conduct a market survey, which most of us here have an experience with or have a hard time or costly experience going through. And then it can help us design a basic salary structure. So why are we going through this? Because we want to make our lives easy as HR managers. We want to get a picture of what we can demonstrate as the thing for us to show, or the thing for us to demonstrate that we're making life easy for the implementation of HR practices. So ChatGPT has that capability as far as developing salary structure. We can do job descriptions, we can do market research, and we can do draw a salary structure. So we're going to do a bit of a live demo, and then we see how this goes. How do we go about this? There are a number of steps, but let's see what we're going to be doing shortly. You must have your computers open, hopefully, and then you must be registered with openai.com. You must have an account, and let's get into it by going step by step. I'm going to share another screen which shows what we'll be going through in a bit. I've already talked about creating an account. The next thing you'll be doing is we'll type our queries. We talked about, let's try a job position. Maybe I should let somebody write what would you like us, which job would you like us to look at? Type that in the Q&A, just one single job, and then we take it to from there. Anyone? Okay, somebody is interested in a finance manager. Okay, we shall get to that. Finance manager, I'm going to, somebody said operations manager. Okay, let me share my other window and see whether I can get new chat. Please let me know what window you can see. Can you see my ChatGPT window? Okay. Great. Hamza or Ruth, let me know if you can see the window. I'm raising the magnification so that we can see what is happening. So we said we can create. So this is how ChatGPT looks like. If you can see my window, please put up your hand. The screen that is showing ChatGPT. If you can't see it, let me know in the Q&A. This is what it will look like. You will have a simple, it's blank, meaning you can't see anything, or can you see ChatGPT as a, I can't see, it's empty. Okay, screen is blank. How about now? Anyone seeing anything? Let me change share the screen. Oh yeah. There we go. I hope you can see it now. Great. So you can see ChatGPT. I'd like to now say somebody asked to see the role of finance manager. So we are going to go to looking at the role of finance manager. And what are we going to do? We're going to ask a number of questions. What are those questions going to be? We said we will ask, what is, you can start by defining, please develop a job description for the role of a finance manager in the context of Uganda. I hope you can see that. And the job description is being developed very quickly. I will just let it run, and then it tells you what it needs to do. And then we'll just quickly look at the job description. So it's less than a minute and the job description is done. So within a minute, job description is done. And we can tell what is this role. Job title, finance manager, location, Uganda, job type, full-time summary. We are seeking a skilled and experienced finance manager to join our team in Uganda. They tell you what the successful candidate will be responsible for, and that is managing financial activities, ensuring compliance with relevant laws and regulations, and providing guidance and support to other members of the team. Let's look at the responsibilities. Manage day-to-day financial operations of the organization, accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger activities, develop, implement finance policies, prepare, analyze financial statements, oversee budgeting, doing financial forecasts and modeling to support planning and decision making. We are seeing develop and implement internal controls to ensure the accuracy of financial data. We are seeing manage relationships with banks and auditors, provide financial analysis support to other members of the organization, participate in strategic planning and decision making, and we are seeing what requirements they should have: bachelor's degree, professional certification, CPA or ACCA, 5 years experience, etc., etc. Attention to detail. The salary will be commensurate with experience and qualifications. As you can see, it's a fully fledged job description. Then we can ask ourselves, since we have a job description, what is the pay range? So I will type here, what is the pay range for a finance manager in Uganda. A very simple process. They will tell you it can vary according to data from PayScale. So it tells you at this time round, it gave us the source is approximately 77 million per annum, which is approximately 21,000 US dollars. The range can vary from 38 million to 150 million per year, depending on the factors mentioned above. This is a rough estimate, and it is telling you salaries can vary significantly depending on the number of other factors, etc., etc. So we will ask it to develop a salary structure for the role of finance manager using the data you have presented. So it has given us, based on the data presented earlier, remember this is chat. When they say ChatGPT, you're actually having a conversation with the artificial intelligence. So it is responding back to us like a human being would respond to us. And it is telling us to develop a salary structure for this role, we can consider the following salary bands. And then it tells you at entry level, we could have these people with this experience per annum, and the pay would be 38 million to 60 million. For mid-level finance manager, the pay would be 61 to 100, and for a senior finance manager, it would be 101 to 150 million per year. And we can even modify this further. How do we modify this further? We can ask another question. Tabulate this information that you've just generated and spread it over 5 years with a 5% annual increment. Let us say tabulate this information. Or let me first remove this and say present this information in terms of monthly pay for the role. Let's see what it does. It will generate something. So it tells you to convert the ranges into monthly pay for the role of finance manager. In Uganda, we divide the annual salary ranges by 12. Based on the previously mentioned salary bands, the monthly pay for a finance manager in Uganda can be from 3.1 million to 5 million at entry level. At mid-level, it would be 5 million to 8 million per month. And for senior finance manager, it would be 8 million to 12 million. Now, this is already data that has been mined, and they always warn you these are estimated figures. Now, we want to be a little more precise. Can you tabulate this information, spread it over 5 years, and make a 5% annual increment? I've just copied and pasted it. Otherwise, asking ChatGPT to now tabulate this monthly salary and spread it over 5 years with a 5% annual increment. Let's see what it does. Here is a table. So you can see, again, it makes our life a lot easier. Monthly pay year 1 at entry level, monthly pay year 2, monthly pay year 3, monthly pay year 4, monthly pay year 5 at mid-level. And you can have as many levels as you want. If you say split it to 7 levels, you'd get it at 7 levels. If you say split it to 10 levels or spread it over 10 years, you'll get 10 years. Now, we're going to ask ChatGPT again to do something. We are going to say, ask it to add the role of operations manager, because somebody said they wanted to see what the role of operations manager is. Let me see who said that. Operations, Hamza. Hamza said they want to see the role of operations manager. So please let me know if you're still seeing the screen with ChatGPT. I want to ask it a question, and we'll say develop the same table for an operations officer role in Uganda. Okay, develop the same table for an operations officer role in Uganda. We said operations manager, manager in Uganda. So for operations manager, you will notice the pay has changed slightly. It means it's updating the information based on new data. For finance manager, it was observing it's 3.1 million per annum at entry level. For operations manager, it is saying entry level is 3.75 million. And at senior level with 8+ years, operations managers earn 10 million. And in year 5, if you have a 5% increment every year, they will be earning 12.5 million. I can ask the team which other managerial role you'd like us to add, and let's see if we can add one. So somebody propose so we can see whether this is not something we are baking out of our heads, but something we are generating with artificial intelligence. HR manager. Okay, so we're going to go back to the question. Develop the same table for a human resource manager in Uganda. Develop a similar table for the role of human resource human resource manager in Uganda. Okay, then we hit enter. And then we see. So apparently in some organizations, you can have an HR manager earning 3 million at entry level. That must be CBO or small SME. And then at senior level, they start from 7.9 and go up to about 9.6 over 10 years. Over 5 years. You can even ask it to spread it to 10 years. And as you can see, the information varies from role to role. Somebody said administration manager, another one has said agronomy manager, impact modeling and geospatial specialist. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's see whether this, let's use agronomy manager, and then we'll go to impact modeling and geospatial specialist. These are interesting roles. Again, we shall see whether this information is available in Uganda. If there isn't information in Uganda, it will tell us this information is not available in Uganda. So the other one was administration manager job in Uganda. And admin manager, what do we get? 3.250 up to 10.129. If we change and we say for the other one was agronomy manager in Uganda, will it be in the same range, 3.5 to okay, to 11.6. And then the not so common one, which is impact modeling and geospatial specialist in Uganda. Let's see whether this information is available. Okay, so ChatGPT is saying that, well, there's some people have these roles, but remember they got this information from PayScale, but also entry level ranges from 3.7 and then senior level 12.7 million a month. So as we can see, we've generated this set of data. Combine the tables for the roles of finance manager, HR, human resource manager, and administration manager. And then let's see how it goes. What does a combined table look like? Finance manager, years of experience, entry level, year 3. So they broke it down according to years, year 1, year 2, and year what? And year 3, etc., etc. Okay, so you can combine these, and we tell it now generate a single table for this data. Again, it depends on the questions you ask, and okay, it has included all the other roles at entry level and at mid-level, at senior management level. So as you can see, this has been captured and will reflect, say, over 5 years, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. And this can continue up to the end. Now, the limitations of ChatGPT, depending on your subscription, can tell you whether you will get a full table or part tables. And then what factors influence, somebody is asking, what factors influence the salary differences for the positions in the same job grade? We shall get to that, or if you want me to type, I could ask the same question to ChatGPT. Helen is asking, what factors influence the salary difference for positions in the same job grade? Let's hear what ChatGPT says. There are several factors that can influence the salary differences for positions, including experience, performance, education and certifications, market demand, industry and sector, and location. Okay, so Helen, I hope your question has been answered by ChatGPT. More experience may mean you're HR manager, I'm HR manager, I'm earning more because I have more experience. Performance, I may be a high performer. If we are paying pay scale against performance, I may earn more, or you may earn more. Education, in government, there used to be a time when the more qualified you are, the more money you earn. I remember in URA it became a disease, and people had to stop promoting people because almost all employees went for a master's degree and there was no room up for promotion. So the more education and certifications, more pay for some organizations. If there is demand for specific skill set and there is no supply, then the price goes up. By the time I was back in Uganda, there was a very high demand for change management practitioners, and they would comfortably pay $10,000 to $12,000 a month to get somebody with those kinds of skills. But there were few certified change management practitioners. Now there are others, I think, so the price will be going down. Industry and sector or location. HR manager in Kampala vis-a-vis HR manager in Arua, the demands may be different as far as location is concerned, and that will affect the pay for the same grade. So that's what we are seeing with ChatGPT as far as salary structuring is concerned. We're going to go and ask ourselves the next question. And after typing our queries, which we've done, we've kept modifying the queries until we got what we were looking for. Let me know if you're seeing the different screen now. And then we collected our information and we can choose to utilize what is relevant for us in this specific case. So let's evaluate what are the things we learn from using ChatGPT. We have issues of what are the risks, actually, I should say, not issues, but what are the risks? We have issues of recency of data. ChatGPT has data working from up to 2021. The engine we are using is called a GPT engine, GPT-3, 3.5, but they say GPT-4 is going to be launched soon and it will be more versatile than what we have right now. So recency is an issue as far as ChatGPT is concerned. Privacy and security are normally an issue. You have to pay attention to what you're looking for and not divulge too much personal information. Number 3, we have the fact that if you do not have a background in HR, you may not know what questions to ask. So it requires prior knowledge. And then sometimes the data input that you give it will give you a bad output. So garbage in, garbage out. And then we have limited customization risks. So while you can customize it to specific jobs, etc., depending on the availability of data from the data set that it is reviewing, you may be limited as far as customization is concerned. And we can have inadequate industry-specific data. We might ask for a space explorer in Uganda, and it might tell you the data it's using is not necessarily Uganda data. And then it may have limited capability to explain. Fortunately, it has the capability to answer much of the questions generically, as we could see from the question that Helen had asked. We got precise responses like somebody is talking back to us. So there are many things ChatGPT 3.5 can do and others that it is still learning to do. Remember, I told you every time you enter information into ChatGPT, it keeps a memory. It maintains this memory and says, I'll remember this as part of my information load or sources. So we're still evaluating ChatGPT. The benefits are it can give you general ideas and insights. If your boss today says, I want to hire a cook please tell me, I need some information on how much we pay cooks. You don't have to call Andy to come and do a salary survey when you have AI that can give you a brief idea, and you can quickly go and say, oh, cooks pay in Uganda ranges from this to this, and the caveat is depends on, like we had from Helen's question, depends on pay, on qualifications. If they can do a French cuisine, if they can make sushi, they may come with a higher price. If they are only the Katogo cooks, then they may come with a low price. It depends on the qualifications they have. experience they have, etc., etc. So you can get general insights by using artificial intelligence. You have a quick turnaround time. As you can see, we've spent about 39 minutes into this webinar so far, but we've already seen the turnaround time is very high, and it is scalable. You can scale it to increase more roles, more data, spread it over 10 years, rather than getting a manual survey person like me who comes and then I tell you, okay, give me the strict parameters you want. And then you say, okay, over the strategy period, which runs 5 years, and then because it runs 5 years, when you say, how about if we stretch it to 7 years, I send you an extra bill. By using AI, you won't pay more. You just say spread it over 10 years, spread it over 20 years. Is our salary sustainable, etc.? Then it maintains some degree of objectivity. There are still other benefits. It is consistent as far as presentation of information is concerned. Because it leverages a large set of data, it's also cost effective. As you can see, the nature of information you can generate by virtue of doing this salary structuring queries on using artificial intelligence. I'm selling myself out of a business of working with you to conduct salary surveys. And then it continuously improves the quality of data the more people interact with it. And then, of course, it integrates market data from various sources as long as the sources of data are available. There we go. This is the interesting thing about ChatGPT, and I'm going to pause here and give us room for questions and answers. Please type your questions in the Q&A box. Otherwise, the rest is me telling you what I can do for you as Coach Andy. The floor is open. Feel free to type your questions therein. Anybody with a question? Anybody with a comment? You don't have. It doesn't have to be a question. It can be a comment. How do I install ChatGPT? You don't need to install it. You just need to have an account. So let me see if I can take you through the process. Where was our screen? Our screen for ChatGPT is here. I'll open another window. You just Google OpenAI. OpenAI.com. OpenAI.com. Once you've Googled and opened OpenAI.com, it will load the site, and it will take you through the steps of having to create an account. There is a paid account and there is a free account. For free accounts, because many people are getting on board, over 1 million, 2 million people joined within the first month of its launch. Sometimes they keep you waiting. So they say it's creating a safe artificial general intelligence that benefits all humanity. You can transform your work and creativity with AI, pioneering research on the path to AGI, and join us in shaping the future of technology. So you can see at the bottom there is ChatGPT, which is highlighted, and then you just click try ChatGPT. Because I have an account, if I say try, it will just take me straight to my account. Who is responsible for updating data in this system? ChatGPT leverages records of internet-based information. So what it does is we have an algorithm on the back end, and when you query, it searches the they started the project by giving it access to over 5 million or 500 million records online. So ChatGPT went through the process of memorizing, reviewing, etc., and they gave it to review up to the year 2021. So the up and the newer versions of ChatGPT will give more recent data. Microsoft being wants to include AI in its search engine as well. And so anything that lands on the internet up to the period specified by ChatGPT is material for its use in feeding back to you. Who is responsible? How much is the monthly subscription? Monthly subscription is $20 US. So this is what you could be paying if you wanted to use it, but there is a free version. So you do not necessarily need to pay $20 US if you're using it for basic analysis. And again, you can ask it any crazy questions. Some will tell you, unethical, it can't answer because of that. Some it will tell you, give you interesting answers. We know that ChatGPT has already passed the medical exams board of the United States. So those of you who conduct online interviews, if you just send people written interview scripts, ChatGPT is here to answer the questions, okay? Besides salary structures, what other products? It's not a product, it is a conversation. ChatGPT just has a conversation with you. You can do salary structure. We've done, since we have 15 minutes, I can just take us through another very quick one. I just click new chat. I want to recruit for the position of human resource manager. So I will say, please design an interview, an oral, I can't even say a written interview, an interview for the role of human resource manager in the context of Uganda. It can design interview. Thank you for your interest in this position. We are committed to selecting the best candidate. It gives you a section on personal background. It gives you knowledge of HR in Uganda. It checks your organizational skills, leadership qualities, etc. Can you provide an example? Can you describe your experience? Can you describe your experience? So it is giving you questions. And then you can even say, prepare, please, or you don't even have to say please, but you can say develop a marking guide for the interview you have just prepared. Okay, so marking guide, when we are looking at personal background, you explore the quality of the response to the questions. When you're looking for knowledge and skills, it even gives you points with the total number of points, okay? Scores with the total number of points. Let me go back to marking guide. Personal background, quality of response to the questions about their educational background, why they want to become an HR manager, their length of experience in the HR field, give them 10 points. Find out the depth and clarity of the response about the previous HR roles in Uganda, 10 points. Knowledge of and skills in HR management, understanding key challenges faced by HR managers and strategies to overcome them, 15 points. Knowledge of labor laws and regulations in Uganda related to HR management, 15 points. Understanding of compliance requirements related to labor laws and regulations, 10 points. Experience managing employee relations, including disciplinary procedures, performance management, conflict resolution, 20 points. Experience managing recruitment, talent management in Uganda, 20 points. As you can see, you can do this for an interview guide, you can do this for onboarding, you can use this for many things in, let us see, what would a suitable performance management performance appraisal tool for this role look like? Again, we're asking a random question. KPIs are measurable goals for the role of HR manager. There should be self-assessment, there should be management assessment, there should be 360-degree feedback, there should be opportunity for professional development planning, and there should be a performance review meeting. Then we say, please develop an appraisal tool for this role. Here is an example of an appraisal tool. Okay, so you can see top 3 strengths, improvement plans, manager's assessment, comments, feedback, professional development plan, overall performance rating. So again, Helen, your tool is there with the click of a mouse and the typing of a few fingers here and there, and you have a draft, for lack of a better word, a draft appraisal, and you could say, please tabulate this appraisal. And then we see whether please tabulate the information in this appraisal template. And then it will say example how it will look like. Okay, self-assessment, it draws for you a table and you're done. So as you can see, you can use ChatGPT to ease the work that you're doing and make your life a lot easier. And so don't get left behind when you have an opportunity to make your life more efficient. But it doesn't mean you cannot apply your hindsight and your technical HR skills. This is just a quick, what we call facilitator, to make your life resolve very simple problems. They can be semi-complex, but gives you insights into things that you would have questions and HR concerns to deal with. I'd like to stop here. If there are no other questions, I'm conscious of everybody's time, but I'd like to thank you for being part of this webinar. Please invite your friends next time. If you've enjoyed this, you can share with your groups. I also do free 5 to 10 verbal, 10-minute verbal CV resume review. If you're still worried about how you're going to transition in your career, Coach Andy does that as well for you. But you can also send your team members for mentoring. Of course, this will be a fee. I'm also a certified professional coach, so I can do coaching, and that's why I use that brand, Coach Andy. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. You want to know how to sign up? Go to openai.com. OpenAI is one word. And yes, somebody sent me CVs yesterday, I think. If you sent your CVs yesterday, I'm going to be sharing a review of the CVs by WhatsApp, a voice note. So please be patient. Office location, the physical office is in Kira, in just after Bulindo. There's a place called Chiwologoma. And then 80% of the business is carried out online. But if you'd like to have a meeting, you can go to www.coachandy.com and book a meeting or an appointment. And that is where you can go. I could give you a precise link. You have my WhatsApp contacts. We can definitely get in touch and have these kinds of conversations together. So I'm here for you. If you need any insights, any help, it doesn't have to be only with artificial intelligence. It is a lot more HR, team building, coaching, strategy, as you can see, salary structuring, and others. I'll be doing this, I call it HR learning series, once maybe every 2 weeks, if time allows, or once every month, but I'm hoping it will be every 2 weeks. For starters, this is going to be free. up to the point where the masses are too unmanageable, and then we can see if we can transition. But for now, if you can spare your Fridays 1 hour every 2 weeks, I presume we'll share a lot and learn a lot. My WhatsApp is on the screen. 2717. You can always do that. Hope I've captured it. 512717. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm signing out for now, and I'd like to say thank you very much for being part of this. And now that it is 1 hour exactly, let us get back to work. Have a good Friday and stay safe. Bye for now.